Hello everyone, I'm back. I've been pretty busy these past few days, so this video came out a bit later than expected. I hope you guys understand. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the newest event in DC Dark Legion, Teen Titans Summer Smash. This is actually a pretty interesting event with multiple different game modes, so I'm going to break down each part one by one so you can clearly understand what you should focus on, how you should spend your resources, and most importantly, if you're a free-to-play player, what you need to do to optimize everything as much as possible. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is Pizza Celebration. Just hearing the name already sounds fun, right? Basically, this is the familiar gifting mechanic that you've already seen in many previous events, but this time it's tied to the Teen Titans theme, so there are some special items included. The way it works is very simple. You complete daily tasks to earn gift items, and you also have a chance to get gift items through Crisis Response and Anti-Crime Network, two activities that I think most of you already do every day because they are part of the core gameplay of Dark Legion. The nice part here is that you can initiate a coordinated assault against Dark Legion, and if you win, you receive a gift item. So I highly recommend that you don't skip this step. It helps your normal progression while also giving extra event items, two birds with one stone. So what do you do after getting gift items? You send gifts to friends. And this is the part I like the most about this mechanic. Both the sender and the receiver get rewards, so nobody loses anything. When you send gifts to friends, your friendship level also increases, which is useful in the long term for social-related systems in the game. However, there's one important thing you need to pay attention to. After you have sent or received a total of 200 gifts, the rewards afterward will be downgraded in quality. And the important detail is that this limit is tracked separately for sending and receiving, meaning 200 sent gifts and 200 received gifts are two completely independent limits. So if you're tracking your progress, make sure you monitor both numbers carefully. Next, I'm going to talk about Cyborg's assistance, and this is probably the most straightforward part in my opinion. This event lasts for 7 days. Pay attention to this duration because once the event ends, all event items will be recycled and disappear completely. The mechanic here is that you submit Soda Cola to Cyborg to unlock milestone rewards. If you've played Dark Legion long enough, Soda Cola is definitely not something unfamiliar anymore. But the more interesting part is that Cyborg can also use Soda Cola to replace bumper rewards. I'll explain this more clearly in the next section when talking about Titan's reflex training, because these two systems are connected. The higher Cyborg's skill level is, the more options you unlock, and the daily usage also increases. However, remember that this special skill has a limited number of uses per day, so use it carefully instead of wasting it randomly. Now we move to the centerpiece and what I think is the most exciting part of this entire event, Titan's reflex training. In terms of gameplay, this is basically a pinball-style minigame. You pull back the spring and release it to launch pinballs downward, and when they land in certain slots, you earn Titan tokens. Sounds simple, but there's actually a deeper layer that you need to understand if you want to optimize properly. When your pinball hits a reward bumper, it builds progress. Once the progress meter is completely filled, you claim the reward, and then both the progress and the reward reset. That's the core gameplay loop. But there's also a special mechanic called the system hack skill. This allows you to change the bumper rewards. The interesting part is that your progress does not disappear when you swap rewards. It carries over. Only after you claim the new reward will it revert back to the original reward. This means you can strategically swap into the reward you actually want right before the meter becomes full, so you can claim exactly what you need. The Titan tokens you earn can later be exchanged for valuable items in Pizza Corner, which I'll talk about afterward. And besides that, players are also ranked based on the total amount of Titan tokens earned. So if you want to climb the leaderboard in this event, this is the number you should focus on the most. Now let's talk about the Titan's Reflex Training Pass, an important part for both free-to-play players and spenders. Basically, This section helps you earn extra marbles for free to use in the Titan's Reflex training mode. The main mechanic is that you complete daily missions to accumulate points, and from there you unlock milestone rewards. If you're someone willing to spend a little, I think this is worth considering because you'll receive significantly more marbles along with extra gems that can be used for many other purposes in the game. But if you're completely free to play and don't want to buy marbles from the store, I have one practical tip from my own experience. Try to save around 3 marbles. The reason is that the final days of the event usually include daily tasks that require you to spend this resource, and if you have enough to complete those tasks, you can earn a bit of extra rewards from them. In terms of value, those 3 reserved marbles can make the difference between claiming additional rewards or not during the last days of the event. So don't spend everything too early. Okay, now we get to the part that I know many of you have been waiting for, Pizza Corner, which is basically the event shop. And the biggest question is, what should you buy? And is it worth investing in the pass? I'll break it down honestly based on what I've observed. First, about marbles. Every day you'll spend around 210 gems to buy marbles, so you can participate in the event more comfortably. The important thing here is that this event has reduced the cost quite significantly compared to previous events. Normally, you would need to spend around 600 gems per day. So 210 gems is definitely a noticeable improvement. However, for free-to-play players, I still recommend thinking carefully. DC Dark Legion is not a game where gems are easy to earn, while at the same time, there are too many things competing for your gems. So if your gem supply is limited, make sure you prioritize very clearly. As for what to buy with Titan tokens in Pizza Corner, I'll divide it by player type. For newer players or those still building their roster, I recommend prioritizing anvils and shards first. These are extremely important resources for developing characters, and lacking them will slow down your progression significantly. Meanwhile, for veteran players who already have the team they want, Magic Eyes are the option I would prioritize more. The reason is that Magic Eyes help you develop legacy, and this becomes the next progression layer once your roster is already stable. Realistically speaking, most players can only maintain one truly strong team because the cost of supporting multiple rosters at the same time is extremely high. So once you've settled on your main team, legacy development becomes the next logical direction. And finally, if after all those purchases you still have leftover Titan tokens, don't let them go to waste. You can use the extras to buy Quantum. This resource helps develop your vehicles, which increases your team's overall power even further. It's not the highest priority, but if you already have extra tokens, why not make good use of them, right? To summarize, these are the key things I want you to remember about Teen Titan Summer Smash. The event lasts for 7 days, and all event items disappear once it ends, so don't procrastinate. Complete your daily tasks consistently, participate in coordinated assault, and make proper use of the gifting mechanic. In Titan's Reflex training, use this system hack skill strategically. Don't waste it at unnecessary moments. If you're free to play, save 3 marbles for the final days. And when shopping in Pizza Corner, buy according to your current progression stage. Anvils and shards if you're still building up, Magic Eyes if you already have a strong roster, and Quantum if you still have leftover tokens. Overall, I think this event is actually fairly balanced and much more friendly toward casual players compared to some previous events, especially with the marble cost being reduced to only 210 gems instead of 600, which is definitely a positive improvement. Hopefully this video helps you plan your event progression more effectively. If you found this helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss future analysis videos. I'll continue monitoring the event and provide updates if there's more new information. Good luck, have fun, and hope you earn a lot of Titan tokens.